Hello guys, this is Jerry speaking. Welcome to Bedtime Stories, episode 34, and today we're looking at the Paddington Bear. And guess what? Bedtime Stories is back from the dead after a month and a half hiatus. And sorry it took me so long because of the rash and celebrating Christmas and everything. Because I've been too busy with other things besides bedtime stories. So, without further ado, let's read you a story called Paddington Bear, written by Michael Bond, pictures by R.W. Alley. Shall we? Let's read you a story right now. I haven't seen most of Paddington Bear in my life, so let's see what it is. It's a children's book club, but it's readers, but okay, that's fine. It's published by Harper Collins Publishers in 1999. Okay, 1999 edition. What year is this? 98? Okay, that's fine. That's fine. But it was a movie, came out in the 2010s, but whatever. Let's read you a story right now. Mr. and Mrs. Brown first met Paddington on the railway platform. In fact, they were how they came to touch. Sorry, I have to read it again. Sorry. Mr. and Mrs. Brown first met Paddington on the railway platform, and in fact, that was how he came to have such a unusual name for a bear. Okay, such as because Paddington was the name of the station. Okay. The Browns were waiting to meet their daughter Judy when Mr. Brown noticed that something small and furry had hiding behind some bicycles. It looked like a bear, he said. A bear, repeated Mrs. Brown. In Paddington season, don't be silly, Henry. There can't be. Okay? What is wrong with these scenes? I mean, seriously, what's wrong with these takes? But there you go on that. But anyway, next page. But Mr. Brown, excuse me, was right. It was sitting on the old leather suitcase marked 1 on voltage. Okay, as they drew near it and stood up and politely raised his hat. Good afternoon, it said. May I help you? That's very kind of you, said Mr. Brown. But as a matter of fact, we're wondering if we can help you. You're a very small bear, but we all alone in the station, said Mrs. Brown. Where are you from? Okay. We had to figure out where is he from, but that's just me, of course. Next page. Come on, next page. I haven't read the next page yet. Really? Really? Okay, moving on. The bear looked around carefully before replying. Excuse me. Darkest Peril, I'm not really supposed to be here at all. I am a stowaway. Okay. You don't mean to say you're coming all the way from South America by yourself? Explained Mrs. Brown. Whatever do to your food? Unlocking the suitcase while about a small key, the bear took out an almost empty glass jar. It says bears like I don't even pronounce that word. Sorry. But anyway, that's the whole point about this children's book. That is really sad. That is a sad thing I ever seen in this book. Mrs. Brown took a closer look in the label around the bear's neck. So it said quite simply, please look after this bear. Thank you. Okay. Oh, Henry, she cried. We can't just leave him here. There's no knowing what might happen to him. Can he come home and stay with us? Stay with us, repeated Mr. Brown nervously. He looked down at the bear. Would you, like that? He asked. That is, he added aimfully. He will have nothing else planned. Oh, yes, this replied the bear. I would like that very much. I have nowhere to go, and everyone seems in such a hurry. Okay, that is the right thing to do for Paddington Bear. I mean, sure, the movies came out in the 2010s, and I just got Paddington Bear 2 on Blu-ray, so most recently, so there you go. Next page. And then Paddington Station had that sells it, says Mrs. Brown. Now you must need me thirsty after your journey. Mr. Brown will buy you a nice cup of tea while I go and meet out your daughter Judy. But Mary, says Mrs. Brown, we don't even know his name. Mrs. Brown, thought him for a moment. I know, she said. We can call him Paddington after the station. Paddington, the bear who tested it several times to make sure. It sounds very important. Mr. Brown tried out next. Follow me, Paddington, he said. I'll take you to the restaurant. That's very nice of him, by the way, of what he said to the rest of the things, but there you go. Next page. Come on, next page. I don't have all day to read this. There we go. Okay, Paddington has never been inside a restaurant before, and he was very excited when he saw Mr. Brown had brought him. He was so hungry and thirsty, so he didn't know what to do first, eat or drink. Okay. I think I'll try doing both at the same time, if you don't mind, she announced, without waiting for the reply. Okay. He climbed up to this table and promptly stepped in a large cream and jade cake. Huh? Okay. Mr. Brown stared out of the window, pretending he had tea with the bear at Paddington Station every day in his life. Okay. Sounds like he's adopting this child, but okay, that's fine, I guess. It's like Stuart Little, but whatever. To me, and I'll just talk. I never talked to Alex about this. I'm not gonna say it in front of Alex, but whatever. Henry cried Mrs. Brown when she arrives with Judy. When you are doing the poor bear, he covered in jam and cream. Oh, God help me. Paddington jumped to raise his hat, and his haste, he slipped in the patch of strawberry jam and fell over backwards into his cup of tea. I felt bad for Paddington Bear, you know. I just very bad. I think we better get going before everything else happens, says Mr. Brown. Judy took hold of Paddington's paw. Come on, she said. We'll take you home and before you meet Mrs. Bird and my brother, Jonathan. Huh? Okay. This is like Winnie the Pooh difference, but whatever. Next page. I already showed you this with my dad being a school teacher at one point, but whatever. Come on. Next page. Yeah. It's gonna take all day for the next page to come up. Mrs. Brown left the waiting taxi. Number 30 to Winster Garden, please. Okay. He said. The driver stared at Paddington. Excuse me. Bears an extra. Sticky as bears is twice as much. Okay. As much as none of it comes off in my instructor. It was cleaned when I sat out this morning. Okay. The Browns climbed into the back of the taxi, and Paddington showed up the little tip-top seat behind the driver so that he could have to see where they were going. This was the original book from 2000 from the 1990s, so there you go. Yeah, you may have to see my fingers while I'm reading this, so there you go. Come on, next page. Otherwise, I'll be okay. Never mind. Okay. The sun was shining and drove out of the station, and there were cars and big red buses everywhere. Paddington waved to some people in the waiting bus in the bus stop, whatever. And several of them were waving back. One man had to raise his hat, whatever. It was all very friendly. Paddington tapped the taxi driver on the shoulder. It was a bit the darkest pearl, he announced. I don't know. The man jumped in the sound of the Paddington's voice. Cream, okay. He shed berry all over me now in my new coat. So disgusting. Sorry. There was a bang and the set slid in the butt window behind him shut. Oh dear Henry, murmured Mrs. Brown. I wonder if we're doing the right thing. This is sad. I mean, this is gonna be a big mess right there. I mean, just how much time to do this in any way. But this is the previous pages from before. But whatever. That one is a mess from this taxi driver. I felt bad for that one for that point, you know. But anyway, next page. Fortunately, because before everyone had to go try to answer their arrive at Windsor Gardens, Julie helped Paddington out the taxi. Together they went up the steps towards the green front door. Now you're going to meet Mrs. Bird, said Judy. She looks after us. She's a bit furious at times, but she doesn't realize. She doesn't really mean it. I'm sure you like her. Paddington peered at the reflection in the brightly polished leather box. I'm sure I shall. If you say so, he replied. The thing is, will she like me? This is like Winnie the Pooh, like I said early in the episode, but that's just me. And look at here, right in the left right corner, right here. It's like Sesame Street difference, but whatever. Next page. Okay. Goodness gracious, he explained, Mrs. Bird. What have we got here? What have we got here? It's not a what, said Judy. It's a bear. His name's Paddington. And he's coming to stay with us. A bear, said Mrs. Bird, as Paddington raised his hat. Well, he has some good manners. I say that for him. I'm afraid I'm stepping into some cream cakes by mistake. Okay, said Paddington. I can see that, said Mrs. Bird. I better go get Jonathan to run the bath. I could dare say you'll be wanting some Marlboro as well. Sorry I pronounced that word, but whatever. I think she likes you, whispered Judy. Okay. That was a cool, close call for that book. So, Taxi Driver, I felt kind of worried for you, but Patty and Bear, okay, that is not cool enough. Next page. Come on. I don't have all day. Okay, never mind. While Jonathan wanted the water, Julie gave Paddington some soap and the towel, but Paddington's too busy to bother with either. First, he tried writing his name and steam on the mirror. Then he used Mr. Brown's shaving cream. I don't know what happened here in this thing. To draw a map and to prove the floor. It wasn't until the drip ran in his head and he remembered that he was supposed to have a bath. Okay. He soon discovered that it wasn't easy as it sounded. And it one thing climbing the bath, but quite another matter getting out again. Especially when the tub is full of water and your eyes are covered in soap. This is sad. This is sad, you know. I just want to make sure this book is alright for this thing, but look at here with this pad in his butt, you know. Oh, you couldn't see it. Excuse me. Pad in his butt. This is so sad, you know. And look, and his mess is terrible, you know. But anyway, next page. When, oh my god. Oh, Paddington tried calling out help. At first, it was a very quiet voice and not disturb anyone. Then a very loud help, help. Okay. When it didn't work, he began bailing from the water out with his hat. Okay. When the hat had several holes in it, and his map of Peru soon turned to a sea of foam. Terrible. Suddenly, Jonathan and Judy burst into the bathroom and lifted the dripping Paddington onto the floor. "Thank goodness you're all right," cried Judy. Fancy making all the mess," said Jonathan. Marjorie, whatever the word is, excuse me. Even I never made so much mess of this. Why did you pull the plug out?" "Oh," said Patty, "I never thought of that." I mean, terrible in this story seen here. I have never seen Paddington Bear except in the movies, but that's just me, of course. Next page. Okay, I'm just gonna turn the next page on. So, yeah, that's still gonna be the last pages until I finish this book. When Paddington came downstairs and he looked so clean, no one could possibly be cross with him. His fur's all soft and scaly, his nose green, and his paws, I've lost all trace in the jam and cream. Okay, that's cool enough, thank God. Anyway, the Browns made room for him in a small armchair by the fire, and Mrs. Bird brought him a pot of tea and a plate of hot bird toast. That is cool. Okay. Seen here in his pictures, these are cool pictures seen here, but I guess. I'm gonna read you the last pages, and I'm going to head up and sign off. But I'm just gonna have this. But anyway, moving on. Now, said Mrs. Brown, you must tell us about yourself. I'm sure you must have lots of adventures. I have, says Paddington earnestly. Things always happen to me. I'm a short bear. He sat back in the armchair and stretched out his toes towards the fire. Okay. I was brought up by my Aunt Lucy in darkest Peru. He began. Okay. But then she had to go in the home for retired bears in Lima. He closed his eyes thoughtfully, and the hush fell over the room, and everyone waited expectantly. Whatever the word is, excuse me. After a while, when nothing happened, they began to restless. Okay. Mr. Brown coughed loudly, which is too loud. This does not happen. Then he reached across and poked Paddington with his finger. It's just more of a cuddly bear to me. So there you go. And we have one more page left before we end the story, and we'll wrap up this episode. Well, I never said Mr. Brown. I do believe in his fast asleep. Are you surprised? Asked Mrs. Brown. And then that's the end of the story. So there you go. So that was Paddington Bear. What I think about this book? It was amazing. So far, this book went to be an awesome story overall. Anyways, that was episode of Bedtime Stories, episode 34. I hope you enjoyed your time with this Bedtime Stories episode after a long hiatus, after a month and a half long hiatus. I know it's been rough sometimes for me to not do bedtime stories because I've been too busy with new content, like weekend celebrations and other stuff from 2019 to make Vimeo videos in the works. So there you go. So stay tuned for the next one. I have no idea what it's going to be as of yet, but I'm just going to make sure you understand that the next episode is going to be on Saturday night. So there you go. But until next time, this is Jerry saying goodbye. Peace out, baby. We get more bedtime stories for you guys very soon. But until then, Jeff was saying out. See ya.